Hey everybody, this is DJ the Money Coach coming back to you. It's an amazing summer. We are actually enjoying the pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. And we want you to be a first-rate copy of yourself and not a second-rate copy of somebody else. And the only way to do that is in order to become financially independent, consumer debt-free, and have a credit score above 720. And when you do that, your next step is to acquire businesses, real estate, and leverage the tax laws. We're actually going to show you that this July 13th at 7 p.m. and we're bringing to you the #1 mobile home investor on the planet, in my opinion, Byron Sellers, the founder of Mobile Home Elite Investors. So if you want to plug into the passive income and control your destiny and not have anybody to work for the rest of your life, you need to plug into this webinar on July 13th at 7 p.m. sharp. Hit the registration link below and sign up now. It's only for a limited time and a limited amount of seats. So hit that link right below and come join us on the Beaches of the World Club.
Toledo Organic Tequila is so crisp, so incredibly smooth, it's simply in a category by itself. This is luxury. Life tastes better naturally, so should your tequila. This is Toledo. Enjoy responsibly. Visit ToledoTequila.com to get your bottle of Toledo Organic Tequila. Get a 10% discount on DJ the Money Coach by entering promo code MONEY at checkout. Again, that's ToledoTequila.com, promo code MONEY to get 10% off your Toledo purchase. Now, let's start the show.
Good evening, everybody. This is DJ the Money Coach, and welcome to Bet on Black, the Men, the Family, the Legacy, EP6. And we got our whole crew here tonight, man. And we been out here enjoying this wonderful summer, enjoying our families, our friends, and thank God we are out of the pandemic. So we're going to flip this over to Nick real quickly, and he can introduce everybody, and we can get on with this amazing show. Take it away, Nick.
All right. So, you already saw, DJ open it up. So, of course, we got the team captain, DJ, the Money Coach. We have Mr. Leonard Ray here, Domlin Capital Group. And then we have the elder statesman, Ron Harris, a.k.a. Ron Rich. And then just coming into the building, we have the other Ron B, Mr. Ron Bonds in the building. And then, of course, you got me. Nick Westbrook's here. So tonight we're going to be talking about the importance of authenticity in being who you say you are. So let's go ahead and jump right into that.
Yeah, man, let's jump right into this. So we're actually going to subtitle this The New Jack City Hustlers. Ooh. The New Jack City Hustlers. So if you ain't seen New Jack City, and you don't know what the hustler is about, New Jack City, in the hood, Nino and the Cash Money Boys, what was they slinging? They were slinging crack in the hood. So today's version of crack is digital information without certifications, degrees, and actual legitimate resume. So all you MFs on this social media is out here, New Jack City digital hustling. Y'all need to take a long walk off a short pier and stop ripping people off, because y'all fake, phonies, and frauds. If you want to come see me, hit me up. Okay? Because we're going to keep this shit real tonight. Because here's the problem in our community. We got these people, ain't nothing wrong with creating a new paradigm and creating a new technology. What do I mean? The CD was replaced by the MP3 player, and the CD replaced the cassette player. But you can't be out here cheating the system, committing fraud, wire fraud, bank fraud, money laundering fraud, because you got dealt a wrong set of cards when you came out the womb, but you want to make that excuse for stealing, robbing, and cheating. And then you want to glorify that in the Nino, Brown type syndrome in the New Jack City hustle. So why am I saying that? Because I've been on this planet for 5 decades, and I done seen it all, and the OG Ron Harris has seen more than me. So here's the problem. In the demographic in our hood, we are fucked up because we are so much into that bling mentality. 18 to 34, you think fucking hip hop translates to everything in your fucking life. You are a fucking fool. That's right. I'm bringing grown folks conversation to the dialogue, and the preacher gonna clean it up for me. But
tell them how you really feel, Dale.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because here's the deal. Ain't nothing wrong with you never having a college degree. That ain't got no level or any indication of your intelligence or your skill set. But what's wrong is you getting out here fraudulently teaching people stuff that's illegal, and you just ain't got caught yet. And most importantly, you're robbing people of their little bit of resources that they have. So I'm not going to name anybody personally, but what I am going to do is tell you people who out here buying these products, falling for these personalities over character, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. So I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to turn it over to the OG, and we're going to get this conversation started. You're on mute.
Ron, how do you follow that? I'll wait and see.
Well, you follow that with a nice cold beverage.
I'll just wait and see, sir. Yeah. Oh, you put your glasses on first. Okay, got
it. There you go. You live.
There you go. All right.
Talk to us, OG. Talk to us.
I've been around for a long time. I've seen the dope dealers, the pimps, the prostitutes, and a lot of other people looking for a way to make money by hustling. Hustling is a game that's been played in the Black community because of the fact that sometimes that may have been the only way that some people felt that they could make money. Myself, yeah, I was around a lot of people like that, but I decided not to get into the game because I thought I had the mentality and the ability to get an education that allowed me to get into corporate America. So I pursued that. I mean, quite naturally, being around a lot of people in the game, they tried to recruit me to come into the game, but I knew that was a short lifetime of occupation. And I know a lot of people that got into that game, they made a lot of money, but they eventually went to jail or they went to the cemetery. So really today, I don't think it is really as big as it used to be. Maybe that's because I'm not out there anymore, but one thing about it, I know in this city, crack has kind of slowed down because everybody right now is smoking herb around Detroit. The millennials, the Z's, and whatever generation you're in, they really aren't dealing with that drug situation. I mean, at least from what I'm hearing. But you got to be out in the streets to really know what's going on, which I really don't do anymore because, like you guys said, I'm the old OG, and I really don't have time for that. But just to get back to the fact that education, either a skilled trade or college degree, and there's not too many things you can really do with a college degree unless you're really involved in medicine or technology, or probably, if you come up with some type of invention or something yourself. So the way I see it, I know that it's all about parenthood. If your parents are willing to expose you to the right things, you may have a good opportunity today because the sky's the limit. Now, we're seeing a lot of things that's going on in the Black community, people trying to take voting rights away, but you can't let nothing like that disturb you because you got to look at me. I'm 73 years old. You can imagine what it was like when I was in my teens and 20s when it came to being discriminated against and things of that nature. But I never let that say, well, I'm being discriminated. No, I felt that no matter what, I could really get around that. So I went to school and worked in corporate America for 22 years before I started my own business. And I thank God every day that I'm still standing. My health is in pretty good shape. And I'll tell every young person out there that's listening to us, you can make it. I mean, we all need a little mentorship because, it's kind of tough. I mean, especially today, because, it's really not that many things you can do from scratch anymore. I mean, we talked about Berry Gordy that started with $500 and built Motown, but you'll probably need 500,000 just to get started today.
So when I'm talking New Jack Hustle, I'm talking about they exchange crack for digital information. So I'm not talking about drugs. I'm not talking about CBD. I'm talking about the actual currency that hasn't been vetted because everybody has a smartphone, Google, and YouTube. And they can hop on here, read a couple of books, go to a couple of conferences, and then all of a sudden they are self-professed expert, and then they can fabricate information and create digital, editing and make it seem like they making a whole bunch of money. They'll shoot a picture in front of a huge mansion. They'll do a what do you call it? Airbnb or VRBO, go rent a place for a quick minute, and they'll pretend like they got all these receipts, and they don't have. And since the people in our community that do have the bad, come up, which they had nothing to do. You can't choose your parents, right? So I'm going to take those excuses away because I've been on both sides of the fence. I came from, being born into, a family situation, middle class. And then my mother got divorced and we became poor. Literally, my mother grew up in the projects. No excuse. So my mother grew up in the projects, had her first child at 16, had me at 18 and a half, got married at 18 and got divorced at 22. And then we went back straight into the hood. But my mother didn't say, oh, we're going to start robbing, stealing, and cheating. My mother bust her butt, worked 2 jobs, put herself through nursing school, and kept us in Catholic school with the help of my grandparents.
Yeah.
Real talk. So I don't want to hear, oh man, I ain't got no opportunity, so I'm gonna go out here and start making stuff up. Ain't nobody perfect. I've lied before. I even, stole money before. But I knew the difference between right and wrong, and I wasn't taking other people to hell with me. So what I mean by that with the New Jack Hustle is, digital information. Let me get this, put it out to these, sheep, or these people are hungry and desperate, and show them a fake lifestyle, and then they'll buy my course. They'll buy my dream of hope, which, Nick got on his shirt, hope of me. And then they so desperate, they don't do the research because they want it like this yesterday. When it's a crawl, walk, run, and like you say, I want to get to 73.
Yeah.
And I want to get to 73 without being in jail, and most importantly, without sending other people to jail. But recently, over the past couple of weeks, a lot of people have been exposing themselves, and their hubris and their ego has put them on a syndicated platform with hundreds of thousands of people watching and taught straight up bank fraud, money wiring fraud, and wire transfer fraud. Now, here's the problem. The fact that the person did that, here's my problem. If I'm interviewing somebody on my platform, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen. First thing, as a journalist, even if you're not a formal journalist, you're supposed to do the research on the clown you bringing on your show. That's number one. Number two, you give that clown a outline of what you're going to talk about. And that clown usually tells you what he or she is not going to talk about. That's called professional etiquette. Now, if everybody agrees to that and they're professional, and then all of a sudden that person says something that you can't rep, or you can get in trouble with your license, you go to break. But I see somebody send me a video and these clowns, they up there nodding their head. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right, man. Get that bag, dog. And we're going to do business together. And they ain't saying not a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what y'all got to say to that? So that's what I'm saying. The New Jack City hustle is a digital information hustle, the same equivalent to crack hustle. Mm-hmm. What y'all got to say?
I would just say this, and a lot of this is, to your point, though, it's really important that we also make sure that that information, and we've done our own research and find out what's really important. So I would just say this, like off the top of my head, a couple of thoughts came to mind just immediately, right? Because we've always heard the saying, and I know I'm gonna screw it up, you can't hate the player or something like that. Don't hate the game, hate the player.
Right.
I feel like there's a little bit of that taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
They're quick to call somebody a snitch or you a hater. Nah.
Yeah, it's definitely some of that, because here's what I would say is, and we all know this, at some point you could be incredible at selling and marketing a product or service. And then at some point that product or service is going to have to be put to test, like in real life experiences. Somebody's got to use your product or service, and then at that point, it is either going to stand on its two legs or it's going to fold like a cheap chair, right?
Yep.
So to me, it's very difficult for a retail investor person just to see something online and be able to quickly assess if it is authentic or if it's something fraudulent. It's really difficult. What people are drawn to is the glitz, the glamour. So they see the luxury cars, they see the luxury watches and designer shoes and clothes and houses and cars. So they're drawn to that stuff. And I would say, what's wrong with that? Because that's marketing, right? That is absolutely marketing at its best. Marketing is to drive individuals to your product and service, and you have to understand what's relevant and important to the consumers. So if the consumers perceive that success looks like this individual because they're demonstrating clothes, luxury items, then that's what I want, right? So people have to figure out how to market to those individuals to drive traffic to your product or service, right? So I can't hate them for using merchandise and these luxury items to drive people to their website, Instagram, whatever. I'm saying, get it, right? What I'm saying is, for the people that are authentic, maybe we need to step our game up a little bit more, right? How do we differentiate ourselves from the fakes? You know, understand what I'm saying? To the people that are really authentic. So it's up to us to kind of shamelessly steal some of their marketing techniques, strategies, or what have you, drive traffic to us, but then show them the difference between how we do business and how they do business. So give us a shot and we'll show you the difference. So I'm saying, like, I can't hate them.
You know what? I'm going to agree with what you said, but I'm also going to disagree that we don't change our principles, our morals, and our ethics. Yeah. Because here's the problem with the church right now. The church is bending over backwards to get down with people and be friendly, and they losing everybody because they're changing their principles in the process. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we need to get a little bit slicker with our marketing, but we can't go across that line of morals, ethics, and business practices. What do you say to that, preacher? Because I saw you laughing over there. So tell us what your thought process. So I agree, but I disagree that you can't shortcut the shortcut. Because again, we all aspire to be 73, good health, debt-free, running a great life like the OG. But if we cutting corners, we'll end up in jail or in the grave.
All right, and Leonard, hold that thought, because I want to be clear. So I'm saying this: we don't cut corners.
Right.
That's the difference between us. I would say we are professionals with high integrity and years of experience compared to the individuals who lack the integrity and also lack the years of experience. So that is what differentiates us from the fakes and the phonies. On the other side, what differentiates us that they do a better job at is the marketing and the tools in which they use to market. That's the difference. Right?
So should we be out here blinging with stuff that we actually really have?
Yeah, and I would ask you this, and I would ask you this question.
You know what? I have a struggle with the marketing piece.
But you have to answer this question first. I'm gonna ask you a question, and it will answer yours, okay? And I've used this once before, and I think I did it in front of you, but this is for everyone else. Let's assume that I'm a person who lacks good eating habits and physical fitness. Right? So I don't have the self-control to manage that myself. So I'm going to seek a professional to help me down this path of better eating habits and physical fitness. I have two options, right? I have two options. I've been invited to a gym and two people are in front of me.
Yeah, I remember you said this with me at your crib.
Yes, both equally qualified. Both have the information and the skills to get me in better shape, equally qualified. I understand that because I've interviewed them, I've met them. I know that information. I look at them with these two things, call my eyes. One is in amazing shape, and the other one appears to be 200 pounds over.
Whoa.
Which one would I choose with my eyes?
You're gonna choose the one that looks buff.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One sense in
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah.
That's the difference, Dale.
Yeah.
That's the
And
difference.
It really boils down to, and this was actually taught to me by my younger brother who has a very successful business. And I didn't want to believe him, but when he said this was so true. We are living in a image-driven society.
Is it
Whether
us
you
or
want
is
to
it everybody? Because it's on.
No,
it's trending.
It's on 1,000 magnified in the Black community.
It's trending.
Yeah, it's
That's very
regardless
true.
of the situation. If you ask most young people who is the hottest rapper or who the hottest rapper is dating, they gonna know that before they know what their credit score is. We have been so bombarded with the media, the popular lifestyle, the bling bling, I'm partying every night. You guys are old enough to remember in the magazines when they first wanted to pump cigarettes, every other page was, Joe Camel on that drink or somebody cool smoking Marlboros or whatever. So we was like, oh man,
cool
obviously
cigarette.
I got to get the girl.
Cool cigarette.
I gotta get a cigarette.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. See, now all that marketing comes through here, unfortunately. So you go on social media, which we now know is driving the world. I'm talking about all the way up into the actual election. Elections are now being won of who spends the most money on advertisement on social media. So here you are literally throwing it in their face constantly. And, to Ron B's actual, to what he said, it's easy marketing. That's why you have the big boys now getting into it. You have the Rolexes, you have the Mercedes, you have all these, high-end billion-dollar corporations that are now saying, hold on, so I can pay a cat $5,000 to shoot a video on this iPhone, and it's going to be spread, it's going to go viral. Why make a commercial?
Right.
Very true.
Right.
Very
Why
true.
make this commercial?
I wouldn't.
No, because now it's stupid to your budget. Your marketing budget has now shrunk. Because all I got to do is hit this drink and say upload and share, and it's over.
Yeah.
So, if you want to put it towards a biblical sense, there's a story in the Bible where it says Jesus walked into the synagogue and he realized that people were selling a whole bunch of fake stuff. He went in that drink and he went New Jack City gangster.
Right.
He started
turned all the
tables and just start. They didn't even see Jesus wild out. They never said that Jesus was a gangster, but he was. Because when you boil down to it, how you in my place talking about you love me and you about my Father's work, and you selling these fake drinks. So, but like I said, unfortunately, it goes back to what DJ was saying, how the church has now, we're going to play a little bit nicer. We're not going to have this line that we're going to stand on. You can walk across it a little bit. And when it comes to marketing these goods, people say, as long as I can get mine, I can care less about theirs. As long as my family eating, I can care less about theirs. Mm-hmm. And it's like I say, I never wanted to admit this until I seen it. You can get more flies with honey. And unfortunately, right now, that honey is that bling.
It is that bling.
The bling and the money.
It truly is a hip hop culture era. And that is what drives sales, videos, subscribers. Anything hip hop culture related is killing the game.
It is, but that's how they grew up.
You look at most billionaires, when they throw a party, they don't throw a party and invite people who look like them. They throw a party, invite the hip hop community.
Yes.
To their party.
To their parties.
But they're being
I understand
what
you're saying, because what you're saying at its core is, let's say that I agree, and I don't want to speak for you, but I just know you because we've been friends forever. I don't believe what you're saying is, I disagree with the marketing approach. Like, you could probably respect and appreciate the marketing approach, but what you're saying is do it with integrity, right? Make certain that you're qualified, make certain that you're actually helping people win. Like, if you're not doing those things and you're still marketing the way that you are with all this bling, then I can't support you. Like, is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
Here's what I'm saying, and I'm going to break this down and then we're going to take a break. When you have a license, okay? When you have a professional license, CPA, attorney, MBA, financial planner, you have a best business practice that you have to follow. Yes or no? Anybody disagree with that?
You are certified. If you're not,
right,
you don't.
Right. So, however, it's been proven that this one person was licensed. Okay.
Okay.
Person was licensed. They had a platform. Their platform is growing exponentially because they are borrowing the hip hop mentality across everything that they do. Right. And they do have some credible people on their program, which is very good. However, when a person comes on here and you're pursuing fame and fortune, and again, even if you vetted this person and then they say something that you know they shouldn't, your moral ethics and best business practices to intervene and say, you know what? Even though this guy is silver tongue and popular, I can't let my ship go down and I can't burn my people on my ship because of this dude is popular. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point in time, you got to stand up and be a leader. I.e., here's an example. Last night, Phoenix Suns versus Milwaukee Bucks. CP3, 16 years in the damn league, and he's turning over the basketball in critical moments like it's his first time at the rodeo. He don't get a fucking pass.
Yep.
16 years, and he's playing tight and afraid, and everybody else on the team playing loose. He don't get a pass.
Yeah.
And you know what? To his credit, in the post interview, he owned up to it. He said he played like shit.
Yeah.
That's a leader.
Yeah.
So let's hold that thought. We're going to take a word from our sponsors and we'll be right back. You're watching Bet on Black, the men, the family, the legacy, and we'll be right back after this word from our sponsor.
All right, DJ, where we at?
Hey, what's happening? This is DJ the Money Coach. This is actually where I used to live when I was broke. 2053 East 80th Street on Clyde and South Shore, man. That's right. So before we became legendary, this is where it all began. And if I can make it from these humble beginnings, you can too. Had a pom-pom lifestyle that's plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. This is DJ the Money Coach. I see you on the bright side. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Nick on his first experience in Chicago with tacos from Velvet Taco, coming across State Street, getting his experience in downtown Chicago with that pom-pom lifestyle. My man Nick. And then with that to go kill the food.
Man, I had to get back in line. You gotta order these individually.
threw electricity to the area. So
Okay.
that people had power. Yep.
Okay.
And then on the other side of that berm right there is the rearing pond.
Okay.
So when you say you are fishing, they raise the fish there, through the winter, and then when they get to a certain size, they drop them back in here. And they weren't doing walleye up until about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
And now the walleye, you can catch them because it's a deep fish. You jig for it, you don't cast for it.
Okay.
And right in here is where you catch the walleye.
You having a great time, Crusher? Oh man, this is nice. This is peaceful. Man, look at that view right there. I gotta get a picture of that. Wow. Hey guys, where you enjoy life, work hard, be free. Oh yeah, that is beautiful.
Toledo Organic Tequila is so crisp, so incredibly smooth, it's simply in a category by itself. This is luxury. Life tastes better naturally, so should your tequila. This is Toledo. Enjoy responsibly. Visit ToledoTequila.com to get your bottle of Toledo Organic Tequila. Get a 10% discount on DJ the Money Coach by entering promo code MONEY at checkout. Again, that's ToledoTequila.com, promo code MONEY to get 10% off your Toledo purchase.
All right, welcome back. You're watching Bet on Black, the men, the family, the legacy. And today's topic is, fake frauds and phonies in the new Jack digital hustle. So we left with talking about the way we package our marketing and how we leverage that to actually bring authenticity and real professionalism to the platform without, changing our principles and doing stuff that's wrong to lead everybody down the wrong pathway, because that is, rampant in our community, and it's actually become pervasive across all, ethnicities, boundaries, and everything. And just like I think it was like Preacher was saying, and even Ron, both Rons were saying, now billionaires are hiring people and bringing them in, giving this hip hop flavor. So how do we address that? And as we went before the break, I was talking about if you're a licensed professional and somebody comes on your platform and they start doing something that absolutely is fraudulent, it's misleading, and it's going to send people to the pokey or to the grave. How do we offset that and be leaders? And I left with the example of CP3 stinking up the joint last night, looked like he was point shaving, but in the post interview, he stepped up to the plate and said he stunk up the place and he took full responsibility as a leader. And I looked at it as, maybe he need to stop doing them State Farm commercials, and maybe he need to get in the gym and work on his craft. So who want to tee that up and get us back started in this segment right now?
Oh God, that's hilarious.
That's right. As they say, bring that smoke my way, baby.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I would say that's a tough one, because is it live or is it
that show was live.
Oh,
that show was live. When that video was sent to me, that show was live. And here's the irony of it.
Yeah.
The guy that actually caught these cats, he's actually a CPA and a registered financial advisor and a tax consultant professional. And all he does is go on social media and find people who are scamming good people.
Okay.
And here's the irony of it. Instead of them checking the knucklehead on their show, they send him a cease and desist letter.
Oh.
So they tried to bully him.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Instead of checking that clown in your neighborhood, sometime when the real gangster got to kill one of his own boys to keep the peace with the enemies, they didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just giving y'all the colloquialism so these, uninformed Negroes will understand that, hey man, ain't nothing new under the sun, baby. Technology changes, faces changes, but principle and places don't change. So who want to step up to the plate and tee that up? Or am I standing on the mic by myself, which I'll be more than happy to do?
No. But so to me, that's the tough part, right? So I'm actually just thinking about the consumer.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, that's really who I'm most concerned about, the consumer, because those are the people that are really going to be hurt because of misinformation, because they're actually going to stand on principle and these individuals' perceived expertise and actually take action with their hard-earned dollars, right? And if they lose their money, it could be their life savings, right? So that's what I'm concerned about. But those people may not be informed to be able to differentiate between, you know, what's legal and what's not legal, right? So that goes back to what you were saying, Dale, is that you would hope that the minute that someone who's qualified hears that information, quickly corrects and or says, hey, well, you know, maybe that's not the best advice. That's not something that we support or stand by. That's exclusively his independent view, because blah, blah, blah. I would hope that someone will be smart enough and courageous enough, you know, to correct them on the spot.
They did none of it, bro.
Right.
And
So,
the reality is it's all on video.
Yeah, and to me, I don't know how
lying?
you would respond to something like that, quite frankly, because they're probably trying to protect the shield too, right? They're probably trying to protect their brand because they built up a following and people expect them to have.
I get all that, Ron, but here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. When the guy who is the CPA and the registered investment advisor pointed out that this dude was committing fraud, they didn't go talk to the dude that was committing fraud on their platform. They ponied up, had their attorney send the CPA and the registered advisor a cease and desist letter. This is after the fact.
Right.
You feel me? So they had time to think about it.
Yeah.
They had time to review the video, and they still said, man, we're going to blow up, put our chest out there, we're going to flex on him, and he going to fold, and we're going to still let this false information be pervasive on our platform.
So now, you're saying they flexed on the accountant who said it was fraudulent?
Yeah. They sent him a letter, not knowing what his background was and what his resources were. And here's the irony. He was going to pull the video down, and then they was like, oh, we about to punk you. It was, oh, dude, you punked the wrong brother. And you know, in the hood, see, here's the thing. If you ain't grew up in the hood, and you know when the bully's a bully, and he come up against the real G, he getting beat down.
Right.
So,
what do you consider beat down?
Beat down? I mean,
like what are you considering beat down?
Because well, let's just put it this way: if I was in that guy's position and I was putting them on point about what they're doing wrong, I know for a fact my attorney would shut them down, and I wouldn't have to worry about resources. If it came to that, I'm not trying to do that, but I'm saying here's one thing my dad taught me. My dad taught me, he said, if you don't know what that person can bring to the table, you be best to keep your mouth shut.
Absolutely nothing is coming out of that.
Right. There's nothing coming out of it. You're right. There's nothing coming out of it. Nothing.
And if you believe that, then you luncher.
Right.
So,
however, but here's what I'm saying.
Nothing is coming out of that.
Right. Nothing's coming out of that. But here's the point, though. That makes our community look bad.
So I'll be interested to see what Leonard has to say, because I'm gonna say something else. Yeah, I'm real curious.
Yeah. So this individual who did do that, now he has apparently apologized and put it out there on social media that it was wrong, all this other stuff. Now I don't think it had anything to do with this 20,000 subscriber accountant compared to this 500,000 subscriber private jet owner. Okay. All right. So as far as that, yes, he has been checked, and this dude comes out, makes a video and says, you know what? That was wrong. Now, for anybody who's watching this, I will break it down how this actually works, because I have done this. Okay. So you would go to the bank and you would say that you're buying a vehicle. This is what I have literally have done, okay? So if they ask you for a VIN number, I'm going to an auction. How many people have bought a vehicle from an auction? if you bought a vehicle from an auction, you don't have a VIN number because you're buying from an auction. You don't know what you're going to buy. So when you're supposedly buying this, the bank will literally tell you, okay, well, this will be a semi-auto loan, and we're going to give you a certain amount of time to bring us back the secured title. If you do not bring back this secured title, it will be converted over to a personal loan.
All right, so let me interject right here. Because my last 8 cars I bought from the auction because I have dealer relationships.
Yes.
So with that said, see, what you clarified is that, hey, we're going to the auction. What he did was he said, we're going on a website and we're grabbing a VIN and we're going to purposely defraud. And he said the institution name, which actually brings them into the fold too.
Yes.
Would you agree?
It seem like they all in cahoots.
Right. So and we ain't got nothing to do with him. So he brings a multi-billion-dollar institution into his fraudulent business practice.
Oh,
no, that's not what you do.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
But what you said is true.
That's what he's saying.
Exactly. So pick it up from there, just to have clarity. So go ahead. Continue.
That's exactly what he said. So for all the people who are listening,
you made them collaborate.
Right way to do this. There's a right way to do this, and there's a wrong way to do this. And definitely what happened with that was definitely the wrong way to do this. Now, speaking, DJ and I can sit here and say that, so they'll let you go for a certain period of time before it converts to a personal loan. Depending on your relationship with the bank, that can be weeks to months. Okay, so we're gonna make it all right on this show.
Oh yeah, you damn right. Because if it ain't, we'll shut this shit down right now.
Right.
Yeah. We're gonna tell you the real right now. And we're not gonna say which bank it is or whatever, but if you do this, this is what you're supposed to do. Woo! Yeah, I mean, you included the internet company the car was attached to. you included the bank. I mean, goodness gracious, you included the show. So all from this misspokeness.
So wait, let me interject again. So imagine if he's saying that on a syndicated show, what the hell is he telling his personal client?
The same thing.
No, he's telling me the more worse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because they got no recourse of action. But when he named this big ass bank, this big ass car wholesaler dealership website, they get. Are you doing business with him?
Yeah.
Now he's got a nuclear bomb coming his way. They got the football, push the bomb on that idiot. But back to you, preacher.
Oh gosh. So you're looking at the whole thing. So I'm gonna back this up biblically. This is how I personally live my life. One of my favorite scriptures is Colossians 3:23. And it reads, so whatever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not to men. Because when it boils down to it, you're going to have to answer for that. Now, just because that apology went out, I don't know how effective it is with the other relationships he may have had. Because now you're saying the syndicated show has been talked about. The big conglomerate car company has been talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The aunties and uncles that have the car in their name, or at least have the check in their name, they're going to be looked upon.
Oh God.
And
really,
the big billion-dollar organization, banking organization, is now going to be looked upon.
Right.
Sometimes some things is not needed To be safe.
Too late for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't put that JD back in the bottle.
You put it out there, it's gone. It's gone.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Oh, yeah.
So, OG, Ryan,
Yeah.
Talk to us, brother. Talk to us. Talk to us.
Well, you know, I'm listening tonight because one thing that I'm learning is this. You know, there's a lot of people out there making a lot of money doing some very scandalous things on the internet. And like you guys said earlier, I mean, that's a platform where, you know, the bling bling and those things are working for them. I don't see them changing because, you know, today with the last president that we had, I mean, you're talking about one of the greatest con men ever, and that's becoming the flavor of America. I mean, the Republican Party has become straight up gangsters.
Yeah.
And so far here in America, man, excuse me, I'm really concerned about what's happening in this country, man, because
Man, you know what? That's the real thing. What you're talking about right now. The whole country is going to hell in a rowboat.
right now, lies don't even count anymore. Lies have become the truth with a lot of people. So I'm really concerned, man, about these young people today, because when you start hearing it from the top, and a lot of people, I mean, really, not only just people off the street, but what I'm hearing from some of the cable news shows that are very credible, that they have a lot of friends who are very wealthy and very well educated that's buying into the big lie.
Yeah.
So with this going on from the top, it's spreading down to everybody. So what's really real today with a lot of people? We can figure it out. A lot of other people can't figure it out.
No, Ron, and that's what I'm saying. That is the struggle, because it's the point that you and Dell and everybody is really making right now. Like before, there was, and I hate to say it, there was probably some forms of governing bodies. Like if you had certain certifications, there was important that you had continuous education so that you stayed informed about what was changing in your field, right? And then you had organizations in which you worked for, and they were responsible for making certain that everything was regulated. You were audited to make certain that things were checked, verified,
that's why they got it.
And that is no longer happening. No. You can, to Leonard's point, grab your phone and start speaking your truth and influence enough people where all of a sudden it becomes gospel. And nobody has to vet it. If enough people say it and convinced that it is true, it becomes true.
It does.
So how do you begin to regulate that, right?
Yes.
And that becomes the problem, because we're moving away from regulation. We're moving towards people being very liberal and free and kind of expressing what they want to say. And if enough people believe it, then that's what it is.
You know what, Nick, you've been quiet the whole show, and it's your generation is actually leading us in the future. Man, you got to chime in here, brother. You don't get a pass. You don't get a pass.
I got
we got the OG.
I'm gonna stay quiet on this.
We got the preacher and Ron B. Come on, Nick, step up to the plate, because you're the one in that demographic model that all advertisers, you know, is the holy grail, 18 to 34.
Yeah.
Right.
What's your take on it, brother? Because yours is the most important.
Oh well, my generation, my take, we say people's names out here. I know you don't want to give them no promotion, but that's what we do. you know, for one. And then that guy, you know, giving all that information, he sounds like the person in New Jack City. That's the informant. You know, he sounds like more like the informant. You know, trying to set somebody up out here. You know, so is he? Whose side is he really on?
Was he playing Ice-T or was he Pookie?
right. That's the question. That's the question, you know. And then you also got to question the expertise of the host of the show, because, you know, for one, you can assume,
did you see that reply? He had the audacity to say he didn't know that was a crime. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Come on, man.
You didn't know it was a crime.
You got a Series 7 license, and you didn't know what this clown was saying was a freaking crime. Come on, man.
Yeah, if you really don't know, maybe you should take some time away from your podcast and go break them books out and study a little bit more.
But why, Nick? He making millions of dollars.
They're not going to change.
I understand why. Come on, like I'm being funny when I say it.
Right.
But you understand what I'm saying. But why would I want to continue my education with this Series 7 when I've got this podcast and I'm probably making close to $1 million a month?
Yeah.
If I screw up a couple of things,
they're number
so
2
what?
now.
Yeah.
They're number 2 or number 1 right now. Yeah.
Oh, is that what they are?
Because they was behind Dave Ramsey.
Oh God.
So they have kicked Dave Ramsey out the position.
Oh God. So what?
In
If there's a little collateral damage.
3 years.
God.
There you go. In 3 years.
Yeah.
So in 3, but that also has a point to what DJ said. So in 3 years, they went from nowhere to above Dave Ramsey, who has probably been doing this for the last
40 years.
20 years.
40 years easily.
40.
Oh,
Yes.
I was being
40,
nice.
dude. Yeah. I've been in the game 20, and he was already in it for a decade or two before I got in the game.
That says a lot. That says a lot about something that we talked about probably on one of the first segments, the black dollar, the power of our money, the power of our influence on this country. That says precedence, 40 years to 3.
Yep.
If we can get collectively together and actually be moved in the right direction, what can we accomplish?
So again,
that's what it is, man.
Let me interject 2 points. 2 points. Number 1, cautionary tale. Y'all remember when Oprah was at her peak of being the queen of all the television? She brought the dude on. He wrote this book called A Million Little Things. This white dude was all fraudulent. Y'all remember this? She didn't vet this dude. Came on her show, sold like 10 million freaking copies. And then all of a sudden,
Oprah's book club.
Yep, Oprah's book club. I was trying to get my book on that joint. Real talk. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
Real talk. But eventually he started getting so big, people who knew him started coming out and telling the truth about this clown. And it came back to Oprah, start making her look bad. So here's the cautionary tale. You can poo-poo that shit now, but it will come back to roost in your backyard.
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2, the justification is in corporate America, if you do the crime and you do the accounting behind it, Ron, he'll back me up on this. Oh shit, Wells Fargo, how much is it going to cost us to do this crime and get away with it and pay that bill? Wells Fargo ripped off the community back in 2017 for like $4 billion, and the fine was a bill. And what the people see, damn, they still got away with $3 billion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And nobody went to the prison. So how do you not do what he do in corporate America?
Yeah, no one stepped in prison.
Nobody.
I believe their CEO got a actual
he got a badge
package.
Yes.
Got it to leave box.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
And that's the problem out here.
So OG, talk to me. That is the prop. That's the $64,000 question, and that's the Pandora's box.
Well, like I was saying earlier, man, we have a really serious problem in America because it's getting worse politically. And that's where a lot of things started. I mean, regulations, a lot of other things, man, that, and the Democrats, they better step up to the plate, man, and get rid of that filibuster. Because if Republican was in their shoes, they would definitely end that damn filibuster and do every damn thing that they possibly can. Because that's how deep it is right now. So they can keep on playing with it and mess around, and we have a damn recession that could happen because of the fact that inflation is outrageous right now.
Oh, we're in super inflation, baby.
Hey, so, they better get it together, and, Joe Manchin and Christensen, they better get them into the game, man, because it's serious out here now. It's no longer straight up politics. It's all about how much you can take. Because like you said, people don't give a damn no more. It's about million. Hell, they going up in space right now, charging people $250,000 to come ride. That's what the big boys are doing. They don't give a damn what else is happening.
No.
Man, it's the wild, wild west out here. So what I would caution real men, I mean, because this show is called Bet on Black,
Yes.
the men, the family, the legacy. The only people you can really impact is in your immediate sphere of influence.
Yes.
Us,
Yep.
your children, and your family. And they should know the difference between right and wrong at the end of the day. But the examples, when the past president was able to do stupid shit and get away with it, if I'm in the hood, I'm gonna say, hey, he got away with it. I get away with it because that office that we all respected and honored no longer has respect and honor to it because he dirtied the office.
Yes, he did.
But what you got to understand, listen up, black men who watching this, black women who watching this, black children watching this, there's a double standard. They can commit white collar crimes and get a pat on the wrist, but you do that shit, you will never see light again in your life.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It is
Real talk.
Yes.
And I don't care how much money you got.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You can pretty
That's
much
Bill
look at if
Cosby.
you get charged for stealing a candy bar, you go into a convenience store and you steal yourself a candy bar, you're looking at 5 to 7.
No
I
doubt.
can go steal 100 billion, 100 billion from individuals. Knowingly, I'm stealing 100 billion from these individuals, and I only get to pay back 2 billion.
And still get to go home to your family.
Yeah.
And let's juxtapose that together.
Yeah.
Remember the scandal with the cheating on the test in Atlanta with the black educators? This was about 5-6 years ago. All these educators changed the answers and gave them the answer to the SAT or some type of what was it called? No left behind program, where now there's a standard basic test that you got to take. All those people helped them kids out, and most of those people were black. 98% of the educators were black. They all got hard time, bro.
Yeah.
Hard time. Conversely, the actors
that was doing it,
the 2 white actors just recently did it when they made a documentary. They got a grand total together about 3 years.
Yeah, and
they paid fine. Exactly.
That was quite a few of them doing
and they did worse.
Yeah, they definitely did worse. Yeah.
They did worse. These cats was bilking millions of dollars. The dude was at the top, setting it up, creating phony resumes, taking pictures there. Their students were on the swim team, the polo team. They had formed the SAT, and they were like laughing. But then again, brothers and sisters who watching this, we did it and we had good intentions, but bad, ethics, and they got 10, 15, 20 years.
Oh God.
They lost all their licenses. If you don't believe me, just Google it. Google the Atlanta educator scandal and Google the recent actors scandal out of California, where this dude was making $10, $20 million a pop, and he ain't getting no jail time.
Well, that's been going on for a long time. I mean, that's one thing that's always been the privilege in the white community. I mean, as far as getting into Ivy League schools and things of that nature, a lot of them got there not because they were qualified, it's because, of the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, family connections.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, nepotism has been the key in corporate America, universities, whatever.
So we still, I mean, it's almost like they're saying, my parents used to tell them, hey, you got to be twice as good as the other guy.
Yeah.
And I never believe that, but in terms of the power position, if you don't have financial independence and you don't have a sphere of influence like we have, you will be subject to the law, and they will drop the book on you and they'll make an example out of it. So
yes,
Nick, we're going to turn this over to Nick. Nick, what you got to say? And then again, we're going to come back at these words from our sponsor after Nick tell us what he got to say.
Right. Hey, just one more thing about, about this too. We see these examples where one time, you brought on one person that didn't show integrity and wasn't who they were, but we're dealing with a platform where we're getting rumors that this has happened more than once. So as quickly as they, well, even more quickly than that climb up, they can get knocked right back down. So we're gonna go to this commercial break, and we will be right back with Bet on Black, the men, the family, the legacy. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm DJ the Money Coach. Don't touch that dial. You want to become financially independent? You want to have consumer debt freedom? You want to have passive income, learn how to build a business, acquire real estate, and achieve the lifestyle you deserve in 2021? Well, hit that link below right now. We've worked with over 20,000 people in the past 2 decades, helping them become consumer debt free, increase their credit scores by 30 to 60 points in 30 days or less, and help them acquire businesses through real estate, taxes, and a network of experts just like me. So you'll get a complete 3-hour, 18-module course called Family Finance 101 that'll teach you A to Z how to become consumer debt free, credit worthy, and it put you in position to become a certified entrepreneur. We'll also give you a complimentary consultation with me that's a $500 value. Why would you want to do that? Because I have already achieved that, and I can help you achieve your American dream in 2021. Hit the link below, get the free webinar and the complimentary consultation, and I'll see you soon and wish you a pom-pom lifestyle that's plenty of money and peace of mind. Come join us.
Toledo Organic Tequila is so crisp, so incredibly smooth, it's simply in a category by itself. This is luxury. Life tastes better naturally, so should your tequila. This is Toledo. Enjoy responsibly. Visit ToledoTequila.com to get your bottle of Toledo Organic Tequila. Get a 10% discount on DJ the Money Coach by entering promo code MONEY at checkout. Again, that's ToledoTequila.com, promo code MONEY to get 10% off your Toledo purchase.
All right. Welcome back. You're watching Bet on Black, the men, the family, the legacy. And we got an amazing topic tonight, man. And it's one that is a question about your morals, your ethics, and your principles. You know, do you sell your soul for money and fame, or do you stay the course and stand on principles and be a man of integrity and actually bless your children's children? My pastor told me, he said, you know what? The worst thing is not you going to hell, Dale. He said, is you going to hell and meeting your sons there in hell with you.
Wow.
Say that again. He said, the worst thing is not you going to hell, but you going to hell and meeting your sons there with you.
Yeah.
So what I would implore the people out here on this platform, and I get it. If you come from a single family household and you were dealt a whole bunch of bad cards, you are prone to do something wrong. But there's a little voice inside your head that even if you don't know God, will come up and tell you the right and the wrong way. And you got to look at the math behind it. It's short-lived. Go back and watch New Jack City. Go back and watch Scarface. Go back and watch Dead Presidents. Go back and watch, Boys in the Hood. Very sad ending. I cried at the end of that movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. American Gangster.
Yep, American Gangster. So all this stuff that you're glorifying, you're not looking at the end story. None of it ends on the positive. None of it. They even have a movie where they show the dude got away, and then it shows that it was a dream and he was still dead. So before you start following these people, think about it. Here's what I share with my children. Master the hard things in life. Life gets easier the older you get. Master the easy things in life, and life gets hard as hell the older you get. So you may see these people blinging and looking young and gotten all that stuff, but peel back the onion, baby, and you will see a different narrative. So we want you to understand, even though right now you may be having struggles, people may be clowning you, people may be embarrassing you. Don't let this social media dictate your future. You know what you can do? Turn it off, mind your business, and before you know it, you'll be the one that everybody's following because you have mastered internal peace and you have created a legacy based on principles that are universal that God bestowed upon us. And I don't care who your God is. If it's Jesus Christ, Buddha, whomever, he will bless you by doing the right path that's not most popular. But at the end of the day, this whole narrative looks bad on us. And the hip hop culture is gone amok. And that New Jack City mindset is detrimental to everybody. So I ask you to stand in the gap. And if you can't stand in the gap, call us. 866-395-3042, and we'll help you out. Because at the end of the day, just like people joining gangs, they only join because they don't have a real family. Been there, done that. Again, I'm going to tell you, me personally, I grew up on the wrong side of the track, was on the right side of the track, made some bad decisions. But when I found leadership and I knew the difference between right and wrong, which you all know, unless you are mentally ill, you know the difference between right and wrong by the time you get 12, 14 years of age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, these platforms, they have much responsibility. And trust me, they will not stay rising to the top because every dog has his day. And like Nick said, as fast as you go up that ladder, quickly you'll come down it too.
Yeah.
So this is our last segment. So, hey guys, let's chime in on that because this is a moral dilemma in our community, and it's a moral dilemma in the United States of America. And there's not been any regime, any empire in the history of the world when it got away from God that did not crumble.
Yeah.
Well, right now, where America is going, man, still questionable where we'll be in another 5 years, less than on another 100.
I would say this too, like a lot of the information that we're getting, we are taking it for face value, Dale. I just don't understand. And I think part of it is because people just don't know, right? So folks are naive. And again, if it sounds convincing, we make it true. And if enough people say it, again, it becomes true. So how do we change that? We have to ask people to really spend time vetting information. No longer take anything that you hear on the internet as truth, right? Go to sources that you consider credible, bounce it off of more than one source to see if it seems consistent, right? Because again, it would be very difficult if you don't have a certification and you've got this person who's got like 500,000 plus followers and they're telling you this information and they're selling it as truth. How do you not believe what they're saying? Well, do your own research, right? You have to get back to the days of doing your own research. And that would be the first thing that I would say. And then second, you've got to get you a network of people that really understand the things that you're attempting to do, whether that's real estate, financial education, improving your credit. You got to get around people that are in that business, in that industry, and bounce some of these things off of these folks so you can learn whether or not it's real or not. So I'm going to say, it goes back to accountability, right? Accountability for the host to really call that person on this show to task, and then individuals themselves to really own your destiny and stop relying on other people and everything that they tell you to be what it is. Find out for yourself. You really have to find out for yourself.
And we're not just picking on that one show. I'm talking about all the shows that do that.
Yeah.
But the New Jack Hustle digital, scam is across all platforms.
Yes,
but the one I'm most concerned about is the ones that look like us. Yeah. I could probably name 6 or 7 off the top of the hat that have done something like this or even worse. But the reality is, if nobody holds them accountable, we're going to keep getting what we're getting. And for us, having children that are young and impressionable, and we all want to be popular because God made us to be with people. Mm-hmm. But you got to know how to say, you know what? That over there ain't right. I don't care how popular it is, and I'll say this unapologetic. Cardi B is not somebody my daughter's gonna ever follow. She could be a billionaire plus. But you know what? She ain't nothing but a glorified hoe.
Oh God.
Real talk.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But if she want to come see me, I'll stick my attorney on her.
But you know,
Your turn to go become wealthy. All these people you going after.
yeah, that's the way of the world.
He can become wealthy trying
Well-
to keep Dale out of freaking jail.
Well, Dale, you're doing a great job with your family, man, and that's the way. We just got to talk to our family members and make sure that they're doing the right thing. Because I don't see any other way. You got to just really deal with your family members.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Somebody said that to me. He said, Ron, if you want to change the world, start at home.
Exactly.
It's that simple. Start
Right.
at home. It really is. Start at home.
And you know, and I'm so happy that we're not fourth generation of people going to college. Started with me and my sisters, and now we down to great nieces and nephews that's doing this. Because you know I'm an older guy, you know that.
No kidding.
You ain't got to be nothing more than like 42 or something. Shit.
Boy,
Dale
look,
look older than you.
I thought that just for men that he actually put that on there. He earned that. He earned that right
Oh yeah,
there.
well, you know, I used to use that just for men, but you know what? Get to a point, this is me.
Yeah.
Hey, but I tell you one thing, he can speed like a young cat because we was riding that whip.
Oh yeah.
We were doing 120.
Oh,
Hey.
God.
Hey, you know, we should have another show because I want to explore that. I really do, Ron. I want to explore that because, Dale, it goes back to what you just said. You know, you've got people on the internet with these massive platforms and contradicting the way that we were brought up, especially in terms of education. So, Ron, you just said you've got, what, 6th generation college educated
Fourth. We're in
individuals?
our fourth generation.
And,
Right.
and then you've got the other generations who are following your lead. I want us to know, is college really important today?
But
Like,
you know
we
what,
should
though,
explore
Ron?
that.
That's our next show because I will say no, except for only 3 professions:
Yeah.
That'd be 2. It's only 3.
engineer, and probably attorney. But in 18 states, all you gotta do is pass the
No,
bar.
I see
probably.
that's medicine, technology.
As much shots as you've thrown today, you need your attorney to be educated.
Yeah, I'm sure it needs attorney Leonard Ray.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh,
That's
but
what I
you know,
meant.
they-
Those are the
attorney
three.
don't need no
Those are the
explain.
three.
Fuck it, she got Dale.
Hey, you better watch them damn attorneys.
But again,
Cancel all my appointments. There's Dale again. Shit. We're good. This nigga's he's suing Cardi B.
no, I didn't say I was suing. I said if you
I
want
know
to come
you
at me with that
So
smoke,
your
come on.
daughter better not listen to her.
come on.
Hey, well, you know. Well, you know, guys, I'm gonna probably leave this world before you guys do, but I'm telling you, I'm glad I came through when I did.
Oh, I understand what you mean by that now. I'm with you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I'm with
So here's the question I have. So Ron, I mean not Ron, but Nick is an actual high school teacher. Nick. So man, dude, you dealing with kids who are 14 to 19 years of age. Dude, how do you preach and practice morals, ethics to your kids who are so impressionable? Talk to me, brother.
I mean, it's you know, it's when I first started out teaching back in 2014, 2015, and where I am now, as far as the students that I have, it's like night and day. Like now, with the group of kids that I have now, they're already coming into school with those morals and ethics. You know, they have parents that taught them those things. But when I was first starting out, it was a lot different. So it was very challenging teaching those morals and ethics. But something that you pointed out a little while ago before, you know, in the previous segment about all of these movies and all of these shows about these characters that reach this status and this power, their stories never ended happily ever after, you know. So the very individuals that the students that I first started working with were easily influenced by them you always got to remind them that the story never ends positively. You know, so you usually coming from that angle there, you know, and also showing them the alternatives, because there's definitely an information gap, you know, between what youth in the suburbs are learning and youth in the inner city are learning. So they don't know about the alternatives. You know, they don't know that you can have the power, the status, the money, and the bling bling without compromising your integrity and your morals and your values, because they just haven't been exposed to it. So it's my job to expose them to what the kids on the other side of the track are getting exposed to. And once they realize, like, oh, I can, you know, make the same amount of money as the drug dealer or the rapper and the stripper, you know, by going into finance or you know, learning about real estate, they're like, oh yeah,
yeah,
I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
I think that narrative is changing, because now the nerd is just as popular as the high school quarterback.
No doubt.
I mean, do I have that wrong now?
No, you're right, Dale.
He is definitely wealthier.
Definitely different.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, especially if he has a technical background.
And he getting to find honeys, but he getting them for a different reason, because he got the bag. And he getting them because he built with this. But at the end of the day, if your end result is to get to find honey, then the end result is all that matters.
Yeah, because I seen the creator of Ethereum, the cryptocurrency, and boy,
yeah,
the NFT.
But he is a multi-billionaire.
Billion.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Was that the one talking about buying Goldman Sachs?
Right.
Is he really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
Oh, I'm sure he can afford it.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
And I believe he's like 29 or something like that.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, so he's already worth like $8.7 billion at 29. So let's just say he just plays the long game. What is that billion going to be in the next 10, 15 years?
Well,
goodness.
Hey, just put it this way: if he on the Jeff Bezos curve, my man net worth grew 5x in the last.
Yeah, but
in the last 24 months, his net worth been tripled.
Yeah.
COVID, you better thank COVID for that.
Yeah, so when you sit there and talk about the attention, you can buy a lot of attention for a few $100 million.
Yeah, well, let's not forget about the big crash in the technology boom.
Oh yeah.
Let's not forget about what happened in 2008
right now
in the real estate game.
Hey, there we go. You know what? I'm glad OG Ron said that, because that's the reason why we got 5 generations represented here, because guess what? The man that's seen it all more than any of us, he's still standing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said, youth is wasted on youth.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm gonna continue to follow people who are at the point in life where I'm trying to get to, healthy, legally, safely, and with a little bit of money in my pocket.
Well, that's what you want to do, man. I'm sitting on a lot of real land that I'm hoping that it definitely comes back. But it's risk that we take in life, So I'm just thanking God I'm still maintaining.
Oh man. So all right, man. So let's wrap this up. Everybody get a little, 5, second or 30 second or 60 second, close out. We'll start. Tee it off, Ron B. Close us out, man.
I'll say this. I think we had a real good, constructive conversation today.
Mm-hmm.
Quite naturally, there's a lot of problems out there. But one thing that I've seen in my lifetime, Black people can withstand a lot of pressure and a lot of down times and good times. And to have that resilience in our race, I'm happy and I'm glad to be Black, because, I went into corporate America before affirmative action. And I spent 22 years at General Mills, and I tried to give them my best because I wanted to make sure that they would say that Black men are just as capable as they are. And I proved that. And to leave there with the chairman of the corporation sitting down some of the big time vice presidents to my retirement party, just let me know how they really felt about me, because they don't do that. And I doubt they're doing that today. But the Black community, we're going to be okay because of the fact that, like I said, we're now having generations of Black kids going to school. Now, most likely whatever they major in is going to be very important about the future of their careers. But I really feel no matter what happens, because, you know, we're the first people on earth. I mean, I don't give a damn what nobody said, you know, that's why we Black and all the other things. We've been here so long and we're going to be around. Okay. So only thing I can say, hey, let's just keep doing this because of the fact that if we can just help a couple people, we'll be much better off.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, well said. Well said.
Sure.
What you got, Ron B?
Yeah, so I think it goes back to just really owning your own destiny. And part of that is accountability and really taking a moment to that information. You know, no longer heavily rely on just individuals to provide guidance. Allow them to do their job, but take a second to research it and understand it for yourself, right? Because that's really important, because to your point, because of our economics, there are many other cultures that look to take advantage of us. And it's because they understand that we will not vet the information. And if we did, we wouldn't spend a lot of time doing it. And they're banking on us doing that, right? They're banking on us listening to what they say for face value and taking action against it. They're banking on us not researching it, bouncing it off of some other credible sources so that they can make money on us. And I'm saying we can change that, right? And it just takes a few minutes of doing your own research to really get an understanding of something before you take action against it. That would be the first thing that I would say. And then I know this to be true. It is really difficult to call someone to task, especially on a very public platform, because what you don't want to do is embarrass yourself for the person that invited you on their show. So I know that's a really difficult ask to say, let me call this dude a flat out liar on this live stream. Like, that's really difficult. What I would ask, and I see this happen a lot on social media, I would say, men, we don't necessarily need to do that in public, right? We can have a very private conversation with an individual and tell them how we really feel about things. And once we decide on, you know, whether or not we were right or wrong, then we can have a very public apology or clarity or understanding. But I hate the fact that Black men, and that's what I'm saying, it kind of contradicts what we're doing here today. Black men really go after each other on platforms. Like, oh man, we can't resolve that in-house. Like, but again, I'm drawn off of my sports and how teams interact with each other in locker rooms, right? Like, it's a sacred place, man. We have these conversations here because nobody understands outside of these four walls what we really go through. And I'm saying the same thing. We understand what Black people go through, man. So we don't have to put them on blast necessarily. We can help educate them and help them understand, hey, what that person just said on your platform was illegal, and you probably want to do something about that. And then allow that person time to correct it. You know, so that's the one thing I would hope that we would do different, is that we encourage each other and support each other and stop throwing each other under the fucking bus on live platforms. That's also not very helpful.
Well said. Well said. What you got, preacher?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny going off of both of their points from from the Grand Wizard Ron. I'm gonna say where he brought up the point of changing his family's perspective, and that is one of the most biggest things that I think every man is responsible for. You have to set the narrative in your house. You have to set the example of what's right and what's wrong, and actually be accountable in your house. You know, you can't say, do as I say, but not as I do. You really have to do what I do and follow my example. So when it comes to, doing your due diligence, when it comes to, researching individuals, when it comes to standing up for what you believe, you have to be able to stand there and say, okay, you know what, this is what it is. And we accept the consequences, bringing up to, again, we are awesome as Black race. We are the only people who can adapt to any freaking situation. Okay. You put us in your country, we're going to learn your language. Yeah. You put us in your sport, we're going to learn how to do it and do it better. You put us in any situation, we're going to outshine because we started from the bottom. So anything like, all right, well, because we love proving you wrong. Mm-hmm. We love proving you wrong by saying it can be done, it will be done, and it will be done the right way. Now, to Ron B's point, like, yes, as a man, we gotta stop showing the rest of the races that we can't get along. Because when it boils down to it, all we're doing is giving them more fire to say, see, look at them. You put them in the room, they're gonna self-destruct. They're going to beat each other up, going to talk about each other, they're going to what's the name. As men, we can come together and say, you know what, here's a disagreement. This is what the situation is. The reason I'm telling you this is out of love. It was funny. I ran to an individual today, and when we first met, it was tension. I took it upon myself to keep going back day after day to address it. Because when it boiled down to it, I am held accountable for what I say to this man, but I'm not held accountable for what he says to me. But if I can change his perspective, and if I can do the things that I need to do and change his mindset, I might be able to change his family legacy. Today, he walked around me and he hugged me and he thanked me. And I introduced him to some other business owners I happened to be with, and they didn't even know. I said, right here are 4 Black business owners. And the only one who knows that is me, because I helped every last one of them start their company. Mm-hmm. Now I've just changed their family's perspective. You need to talk and introduce each other and shake hands. And they was like, oh, okay, good. But someone has to be that middle guy who comes and brings people to the table and says, we're going to meditate. We're going to mediate this situation and work this thing out, because this may sound like a cliche. We can do more things together than we can do apart.
Yep. Totally agree.
Absolutely.
Man, that's well said. You know what? Here's what I get out of this. Number one, it requires grace. Everybody deserves to have grace, because there's only one perfect person to ever walk this planet. And everybody else is fractured. And there's a saying, hurt people, but there's also another saying, if you know better and you do know better, you know better. Mm. Okay. So, the great Malcolm X, it says on the shirt, hey, we replace, I with we, and we turn illness into wellness. Yeah. So the point of this show was to actually address this, but at the same time, also raise the bar. And Ron B said a great thing. Yeah, we should address these things internally. At the same time, if they cannot be addressed internally, we ought to let people know on the landscape that, again, we're not a monolith. We don't all roll like that. And a lot of times people want to create a narrative that we all do the same things, but we don't, because principally, we are the same. When I say that, I mean everybody. This is the human race. There's only one race. But there was an institution that created a divide because of their inferiority. They created a competition. So if we can have discernment about what that really is, then we don't find ourselves in these predicaments. And then when we can address them and we can help people, everybody gets better. A rising tide raises all ships. So the purpose of this program, again, it's called, Bet on Black, meaning that we're real men, we're building real families, and we're creating real legacies. And so the only impact we can have over generations is right inside our own house in our own sphere of influence. And so we have to, like, you know, preacher said, is like, hey, you have to set the example by your actions, not by your words.
Yeah.
And like what OG said, you know what? We're gonna be here forever, and we get better, multi-generation.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to Nick, he's right on the line of fire, dealing with the youngest group of people that he can have the most impact. And that impact can be connected like a spider's web, because he can take the knowledge, the experience, the expertise that we bring, and he can disseminate that to his people and talk their language at the end of the day. And they said, you know what genius is? Genius is not showing you can solve complicated things, but making complicated things simple for the layman to understand.
Yep.
Yep.
I love that. That's good.
You know, at the end of the day. So our purpose for this show is to do that every time we bring it, and show that there are multi-generations of great people doing great things that look just like us. And we have a high standard that excellence is the average in each one of our households. And that's what I want every person to get from this, you know, conversation that we have once a week when we bring this, you know, narrative to them. And I want to make sure that you understand that we support everybody. I want everybody that's watching this to go to narrative.com, KNARRATIVE.com. And that's the best educational platform you'll get on the world for our people. I don't get no endorsement, no remuneration from them, but the reality is they're the best at what they do. And another thing is, if you are an eagle and you soar, you don't have problems with other eagles. And leaders don't have problems with other leaders. It's the minions that have problem with other minions, because they still trying to scuffle and get their way to the top, but they're doing it the wrong way. I've never come into a conversation with an alpha male that I didn't have any challenges with getting along with them, because I knew we abided by the same morals, principles, and ethics. Our personalities may be different, but when we address the morals, ethics, and principles, I had no fear of that person. They had no fear of me, because we understood that this is a world of abundance and God's got more than enough for everybody. And if we come together in cooperative economics and learn how to work with each other, we'll never have any challenges with anybody on this planet, and we will sail far ahead of everybody else, because again, it's a race. Ain't no fair. You know, so I'm blessed and providing grace. I need grace. We all need grace, and we need to help the next person get up to par by being an open book with transparency, integrity, and be able to have the benefit of having friends that have been built through business principles of success that are universal.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I think, you know, OG Ron Harris has gone back with me for 13 plus years. You know, Ron B been with me for like 24, 25 years. So Preacher, he's been with me about 4 years. And Nick, the newest one, about 2.5 years. And we've been doing this collectively. If you put it all together, we got hundreds of years of expertise with, you know, humility, integrity, you know, and being real men. And that's what it is about the end of the day. What is your people going to say about your kids based on what your actions, your behaviors, and your principles are? So I'm going to turn this over to Nick. Take us home, brother, because this is an awesome show. And I would hope that you subscribe, share, and get the message. Don't hold yourself non-accountable, because in BK1, it says Christians are responsible to hold other Christians accountable. A lot of people miss that, just like they misinterpret, you know, the love of money, you know, is the root of all evil. Not money is the root of all evil, the love of it. So what you got to say, Grasshopper?
Right, that's right. That's right. You know, and yeah, Natasha, you're spot on. That's what we're talking about. And yeah, Natasha says, yep, she cannot agree more for us to do our own research. Anyone can be a quote unquote authority expert in YouTube and do not ask, is this person qualified? I went to a day trade seminar and Guru never showed any credentials, just lip service. Materialism is very glamorized to the point that young ones are curious to experiment. And that's on the subtle level, but that's where it starts. And we can do more things together than we can do apart, you know. So shout out to Natasha in the chat, you know, shout out to Lona Darian in the chat, Divine Timing and Healing Completion, and everybody else that's watching. Thank you for joining us. And the race is not to the swift or to the battle to the strong, nor does food come to the wise or wealth to the brilliant or favor to the learned, but time and chance happen to them all. You have been watching Bet on Black, the men, the family, the legacy. And we wish you a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind. And we want you to come join us on the beaches of the World Club. And your beach may not be next to sand or water, but your beach is where you find your peace of mind and your personal freedom. So until Sunday, tune into Bet on Black, the women, the family, the legacy, and register for Mobile Homes to Millions, the webinar with Byron Sellers happening on Wednesday. So until Sunday and again on Wednesday, take care and we will see you next time.
Hi, so this is a testimonial for DJ the Money Coach. First of all, I got one of the best packages that you had, so that was A1. I love the team. They have really come through. You were amazing as a coach. Every week you showed up on time. Every single week. And trust me, I've been in a lot of courses, a lot of classes, spent a lot of money. And unfortunately, some people don't do what they say that they're going to do as a coach.
Hello everybody, my name is Terry. I recently just linked up with DJ the Money Coach, and he's been very helpful, gave me a lot of information, told me how I could turn my personal credit into business credit, also showed me how I could pay for a personal vehicle through my business and corporation setup, and also set me up with Melvin to help me actually put together a will, a power of attorney, a Roth IRA.
I definitely would highly recommend DJ the Money Coach. He's very personable. He's actually real. He actually does meet with his clients. I'm happy for that. And he actually has a team that he works with that that are actually real. They do call people, so they will call you. So that's kind of why I want to rock with DJ the Money Coach.
Toledo Organic Tequila is so crisp, so incredibly smooth. It's simply in a category by itself. This is luxury. Life tastes better naturally, so should your tequila. This is Toledo. Enjoy responsibly. Visit ToledoTequila.com to get your bottle of Toledo Organic Tequila. Get a 10% discount on DJ the Money Coach by entering promo code MONEY at checkout. Again, that's ToledoTequila.com, promo code MONEY to get 10% off your Toledo purchase.